everybody, and welcome to the High Schooler Opinion Podcast. I'm Jacob Knudsen, one of the co-hosts of the show.
And I'm Greg Hamilton, the other co host. We're both sophomores, and we're going to give you our opinions on whatever political, social, musical, cultural, or really anything that pops up.
This is what life is like from the perspective of a high schooler.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of the High Schooler Opinion Podcast.
Woohoo!
Hopefully,
We
all of you
made it
guys
through
are
the
doing.
first episode!
Yeah, congratulations. You made it through that mess. But welcome to
Oh
episode
man,
2. This one
it
is
was a
going to
fun
be
episode.
a lot more serious,
It's gonna
judging
be
just by the
a
title.
pretty. It's
Shooter
gonna be a
on
darker tone.
Snapchat. It is that's the topic today. Um, because that was actually also one of the main reasons that we started this podcast because people were looking for the opinions of the high schoolers in the Florida school shooting, and we actually had two pretty big scares in that time
Pretty
period.
big scares in the month of February. One being at the beginning and one being last week.
Yeah. So let me give you the email sent out to all of the parents on February 2nd, 2018. This morning, about 20 minutes before the start of school, a student reported to a counselor that she had seen a threat made against a student from another student on Snapchat. The threat indicated that the student wanted to cause lethal harm to another student and cause harm to himself. As soon as we learned of that threat, administrators and security moved quickly to call 911 to locate and detain the student who made the threat and to begin an investigation. Prior to the start of school, the student accused of making the threat was detained and brought to the office. Maricopa County Sheriff's Office deputies arrived quickly to campus to assist with the investigation. The student stated that he had made the threat on Snapchat, but that it was a joke. In addition, the student did not have a weapon with him. Uh, so, just in case you guys uh, you need to digest that real quick. I'm going to give you basically a summary of all that. So, on Snapchat, 20 minutes before school began, a student reported to a counselor that someone made a threat to harm himself and another student. So they called 911 quickly, and he was detained ASAP. He said that it was a joke threat, and there was no weapon found on his person once he was detained. Um, and that's basically it. So, what is your gut check, Jacob?
I mean, it's crazy
Hmm.
that even after making, because there's like a big difference between like joking and saying a threat. This was a threat no matter what you put at it. You don't just say a joke's a threat. A threat is a threat.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, like this was February 22nd. The Florida school shooting happened February 17th, and we already had a school shooting
17th?
scare. Yeah,
I thought it
it
was the
was.
14th.
No,
You,
I don't think so. Was it? Oh, wait, yes, it was.
yeah,
Sorry.
cause 14th was my birthday, and that's when
Yeah.
I first found out about it.
Um, so, sorry. It was the 14th, and that was just over 1 week after um,
Right.
that Florida just massacre, and so you could obviously see where everyone was like, oh my gosh, we need to detain this person immediately. It doesn't matter if it's a joke or not. It doesn't matter actually what day it was. Like people who
They
make school shooting jokes and memes, that is like it's already
it's
not good. But
it
like
doesn't look good for you.
if it's a meme, I don't know if it's like okay to report them to the authorities. But like if it's someone who and like they just might have the slightest like
Slightest like
they
suspicion.
could, yes, if they are
Yeah.
slightly suspicious of doing this, then I would 100% call the authorities immediately. um but I wouldn't do that to just anyone who made a meme about it. Even though those memes shouldn't exist, especially in our day and age. I'm pretty sure by today, which is
Uh,
February 25th, is the date of recording
of
this. Um,
recordings.
there has been around 20 school shootings. That
I think it's 18,
I'm pretty
19,
sure it's
20.
18
It's
around there.
yeah. In 2 months since
Yeah,
the beginning of the like
that is
that
insane and
that
should not
is
happen.
that's
Like I don't care
not
what kind of the what side of the political spectrum you're on. If you're right, left, in the middle, um,
it's one of those things where everyone
people
can
should
agree
not
that
be killed.
yeah,
If just
they're
kids, high schoolers shouldn't be killed in general. That's terrible. Um, so let me tell you about let me tell the audience about what happened or a couple
a
weeks
couple weeks ago.
couple
Or do
weeks
you want me
prior.
to
Yeah,
or do
you
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 want me
can
to
you can talk about. He has his own quote. Do you still have that?
uh yes, the quote is, though deemed not credible, that threat did lead to many students staying home. Just 37% attended class. Like, it doesn't sound like much,
Yeah. So
but like,
here is non confirmed information about that. With the February 9th, 11:24 a.m. was written with it, signifying when this action was going to take place, and 11:24 would be lunch. And if you were I think what really
fourth,
pushed this to be more of like more people to take this seriously as a school shooting is when are the most kids outside of class and in a place where it's easy to shoot them.
where they're vulnerable, basically.
That would be the cafeteria room, because we only have uh, exits on one side of the wall, and like half of the school is out eating lunch, and that would be the best time to take for it to take place. So that's I think why people thought, oh, this is a school shooting.
That's
There's going to
that's
be.
when people kind of assumed and blew
Uh,
it like way out of proportion from
mhm.
what it was.
And people also said that like under it, they said that they were gonna shoot up the school, but what
I
I heard,
I
it never said
personally
anything
saw it
about it.
myself. Like I personally like saw the threat. Like I said, it was I saw it for what it was. February 9th, 11:24. It could have meant anything, but
Mm.
I just saw it as like it's a date and time, and I made the argument to people like, I mean, what if I put like, well, the time that I
Yeah,
was
so
born
now you
would
can just
put,
go into a bathroom and just write a
yeah,
random date, and then
like,
it's
and
a
then
free day
people
off.
like if I went to the bathroom and wrote down my birthday, so it would be February 14th at 2:14 or 2:15 p.m. and then people are gonna freak out. I mean,
It's like, nah, dude, I was just trying to invite people to my
it's
birthday party.
exactly. I mean, I'm just trying to invite people to my birthday party. I have no friends. I just need to no. I
All
would
right.
question the way you're making friends though, because that's
Yeah, I don't know
a
about
little,
that.
it's a little strange. But
So anyway, going back to the topic, so you saw there that our school already took that threat very seriously, and the
yeah,
students they kind of took it as a free day off. A few of them were like actually scared, but so there that
correct.
was. What? No, I took it I took it for both really. More for a 3 day weekend though.
That's
But
good.
I
I went
did
to
say,
school that
hey,
day.
if it did run, oh my gosh, the people that went to school that day were so utterly stupid. So what they did is during lunchtime at 11:24, I don't know if it
Oh
was at 11:24, but at one of the lunch
no,
times,
it was both lunches. They
yeah,
were
we have two
poking
lunch
fun at
times.
it, which
They
I mean,
took bags of potato chips, put them on the ground
potato
and
chips.
stomped them, so they made like the sound of a gunshot. Oh,
I mean,
they got taken
there.
down
I
by security
remember.
so
Oh
fast.
yeah.
There was increased
I also
security on the
remember.
campus too.
I also remembered remember like this was a few years ago. I remember kids would kept playing Pumped Up Kicks, which
Hmm.
that is not okay. They
If
still
you
got
don't
sent
know,
to the office.
the
It's a
song,
song about killing people and shooting up schools. That's what the gist of the song is.
yeah, it's "Pumped Up Kicks" by Foster the People. You can listen, or Foster the People,
I
and
it's an
you
okay
can.
song if you
No, it's a really
ignore
good
all.
song. It's a famous song, but it's about the 1999 Columbine shooting on April 20th.
Well,
Uh,
it's
and
not all about that. I mean, it's
well, it's
definitely
mostly
kind of
about that. That's what the song was based
yeah.
off of. So anyway, uh, you got that. Our school took it very seriously and put much more security on campus and on patrol. Uh, but now let's go back to the Snapchat threat. This is also non-confirmed information, just to let you know. These are rumors and taken from sources who might or might not be credible, but they were the students at the school. You know how rumorful.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. People like to blow things out just to make it sound like
yeah.
more like it's messed up, but
Hmm.
it's what happens.
All right. So now I'm gonna read off the non-confirmed information. it One of them was that it was one of my former friends. Former being that if it was my former friend, then I'm most definitely not going to be friends with him. Um, the Where I got that was people have talked about it, and he hasn't been to school ever since February 22nd when the thread on Snapchat was made, 20 minutes
Which
before
would make
school.
sense.
Um, More to add about that, I guess, is that that guy did have depression, and the reason why I know that is because he told me that he did, and that he constantly posts on Snapchat. Um, you know,
Saying that if this was your former friend, then
yeah, saying that he was always sad and depressed. Uh, Another non-confirmed information tidbit is that he is currently expelled. That is also because people have said it, and he hasn't been here since February 22nd, as we said. Uh,
which would
he,
make sense.
yeah, 100%. Like if I was the principal, I would expel this kid immediately. Um,
I'd do
he
that too,
might be
honestly.
arrested, and I'm pretty sure he is going to be arrested because, especially in light of recent
I mean,
events,
I mean, uh,
he's probably arrested.
like making a false threat. I'm pretty sure in some like back corner of like the legal system that is something. I don't
Oh, it's not a
ever look
back
that up.
corner, dude. People make fake bomb threats
Well,
for
well,
planes all the
I'm
time.
just well, true, but it's
Um,
like I don't look and I don't know what the exact term is. Like
yeah,
it's
I
some
understand.
fancy wording.
It's definitely a law, false threats, and you are going to be
It's
prosecuted for
it's the
that.
same stuff. It's the same stuff for like if you SWAT someone. It like
Hmm.
false police
Yeah,
threat or
yeah. For those who don't
something
know
like
what
that. But
swatting is, I'm just gonna explain
we'll
them
get into
real
it.
quick.
We'll
Uh,
probably get into it in a episode further down.
yeah, but I'm just gonna say it really quick. Basically, um, you call uh 911 and you say like, "Hey, I have a bomb and I'm holding my family hostage. I'm gonna kill all of them." And then a SWAT team comes, but like you call as if you were someone else and like you give them your address, but would it you give them
You
their
spoof
address.
their you spoof their information
Uh-huh.
to cause harm to them.
Yep.
That's what's
And then a SWAT
that's
team breaks
the
down your door and uh you know, detains you. And basically it's caused on streamers a lot because you can easily DDoS them and get all their information. So that's what
I'd
swatting
hate to
was.
break this topic up, but I feel like we should get back on topic.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. Um, okay, so now back to the non-confirmed information. The threat was made against an accused molester at our school.
Which
Um,
is insane.
yeah, uh,
Or
one
I
of
didn't even know
these.
that until today.
Oh yeah,
Until
what? Okay, so one of these kids at our school has been accused multiple times by many women that he has molested and raped them. Um, he was suspended for it, but he wasn't found guilty in a court of law, so he's an accused molester and rapist. Um, and so basically, this guy was like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill him because he's such a monster, and then I'm gonna kill myself because I don't know what his reason for killing himself was, but uh, maybe it was his depression or something. Um, and then finally, non-confirmed but also semi-confirmed, he the Snapchatter cut off the orange tip of an airsoft or BB pistol, and put it into his backpack, saying that he was gonna kill the guy. And I was told that by the teacher on administrative assignment, and
Yeah.
he's one of the top dogs in the school, and he like knows what's happening. So he told me that. So there you go. That's all the information, confirmed
That
and
is
non-confirmed.
that's the
Whew.
full gist of it.
So
That's
there you go.
that's a load. That's a load, all right. But
So tell me, first of all, let's get in to the very political aspect of this. Uh,
we gotta
gun
we gotta
gun
hit.
control. This is
Um,
this is a
this is
very touchy
this is a very
subject.
hard. This is a very hard thing to say because it it's a very hard thing to say. I don't know where you stand on it, but where I stand, I personally do believe in the Second Amendment right,
Okay.
but to like protect yourself kind of thing. Like if
Yeah.
someone is breaking in, if someone if someone's breaking in, then yes, I do believe then if even if they're entering your property, they could be in there to steal some stuff. They could be in there to kill you. Then yes, I mean, then I think that's like I like kind of okay, but still like you like go back to your morals. It's not morally right to kill someone.
Oh yeah, but I
And
mean,
never
they're
in any
intruding
situation,
on your
but if
property
it's
and premises.
threatening your life, if it's threatening your life, I do think personally,
Yes.
yes, I do think you're allowed to like fight back. But if it's something like like um like with what Florida, that it's I that is like completely like
An
it
AR.
blows
If you don't know what
it
happened
blows my
in, sorry,
it,
continue.
it blows my mind that even that could happen. Because you would think, and I've seen people talk about this, that you would think after Columbine would have been enough,
Hmm.
would be enough to
Like we
think
would have learned
like
how
you
to
like
protect our
after
schools efficiently.
like I mean, it was the first major. There was like shootings before, but
Of course.
With Columbine, like that was the first like major like headline. I think it was the first headline,
Yeah.
but it's like you would think after like how many school shootings, when will we learn
Yeah. So
that
uh
we
sorry, I'm just gonna briefly say what the Florida school shooting
that's
was.
okay.
So basically, in a high school, this one guy legally bought an AR-15. He was 18 years old. He legally bought it, came into school, and I believe he killed 17 people. That's where I got the February
It
17th
was a
from.
formal. It was a former
Former student.
student. Former student. I'm not gonna say his name because he can
Yeah.
rot in hell.
Yep.
He can. I do believe he will rot in hell. I am not. I'm not a religious man, but
But if there was a hell, he'd be rotting in it.
yes, I do believe that. Although I don't think that like with the people from the like the survivors that are going and like forcing like ban all guns and that stuff, I don't think that's or I don't know. I saw a few articles on it where they're like marching and stuff, and I like First Amendment right to or you have the right to protest,
Yep.
freedom of speech, all that. I it's okay to do that, but like you're also trying to like ban like the right to bear arms, the right to protect yourself with a weapon, of course. I mean, it. This is a very hard subject. I'm trying to not like mess up my words because,
Oh,
like you,
that's totally fine. Here,
yeah,
let me talk about
I'm
it.
kind of
You can gather
kind of
your words.
stumbling around. But what do you think about it, Greg?
So yeah, well, you gather your words. I'm gonna say this. I feel like this guy got a huge statistic that, or not statistic, I guess. A rule on buying guns in Florida is that you have to be 21 to own a handgun, but you can buy an AR-15 when you're only 18. And
Like
that already is absolutely stupid. I feel
that
like
that is. Hold on. That that's like back. It feels
that
backwards. Like
that's that's
it
really bad.
it feels like what?
Let's trust in younger people with more lethal weapons. Like that just
Let's
doesn't make sense
trust
to me.
like
I feel
that.
like
That just
and this is something that can easily be rethought of or something. Um and like I haven't thought too hard on this subject, so my opinion definitely might change. That's the whole point of this podcast is to change opinions. We might
give our
change our
opinions. We
thoughts,
might, yeah,
stuff like
we
that.
might change our opinions. New information might come out. Our
Yes.
opinions might change.
So here's what I'm thinking with this. For gun control, taking people's weapons away, I wouldn't say that. I
I
think the only way that you should be able to, I guess technically own an assault rifle is if you are in the military and you are actively serving and on duty, and like you can only use those automatic weapons in warfare. I'm pretty sure that's already uh, what
that
it's like.
that
I don't know if it is, but
I don't know, but honestly,
automatic weapons, people should not own it for recreational or hunting, whatever. People shouldn't own guns that are automatic is what I'm trying to say. And the AR-15 that the boy used, I'm pretty sure it wasn't an automatic. I'm pretty sure it was a semi-automatic, but he did have a bump stock, which is an illegal
which is
modification and create makes the gun either become almost fully automatic or 100% fully automatic. And I haven't researched bump stocks, but that is what they are. And so, here's what I'm saying: take take all guns, right? Don't take them away, but have all the guns able to be purchased at the age of 21. Anyone who is under the age of 21 who currently has a gun, we put those guns into reserve. We don't fix them, change them in any way. We basically just take all of them, put them into like either like a bag or a safe separately,
there's a
right? And then once they turn 21, we give all those guns back. And also, once you're 21, you can buy any gun that you would like, although that gun must be semi-automatic, um, because it's just we. I don't think it's safe to have people carrying around automatic firearms. Also, with gun control,
yes, I know that.
anyone with a previous or currently existing mental disorder uh, should be blacklisted from buying any sort of gun.
But
I don't.
from there, you people could like find loopholes and like they could say they don't have, and then it
No, no, no.
starts the whole
I'm
thing
talking like
again.
if you ever have a clinically diagnosed mental disorder, anything from anxiety, depression, Tourette's, uh, mental retardation, I really uh, whatever whatever spectrum um,
I
if you have any sort of mental disorder, you are not allowed to own a gun. If you currently have a mental disorder, or you used to have a current, or if you used to have a mental disorder, then you shouldn't be able to own a gun. And if you ever become clinically diagnosed with a mental disorder, your guns.
are
Actually, ooh, I don't know about that because like if they're bought legally, you can't really
like I
strip
like I
someone of their
said. I mean,
guns. Oof. Now that's the hard part. That's the
it's
tricky part.
that's why gun control I think is so tough.
Hmm.
Like
Okay, so I feel like if you
like
ever
there's a
develop a mental disorder but you have a gun, oh gosh, I don't know what to think about that because if I say that they're allowed to keep it, I become a hypocrite. But if I say take them away, that's like
that
stealing.
that's why that's why I feel it's so hard.
Yeah.
Like there's a great example of how like people like um like how people like stopped this. And there's one example I know off the top of my head, which is Australia, who flat out I think they flat out banned assault rifles or any gun in general after something that happened in 1999 or in
Uh.
the late 90s.
Mhm.
I'll
Mhm.
have to look it up. I'll probably look it up while you're talking, and I'll add on to the story. But
Sure.
that's like if it's it's a hard situation. It's hard to pick sides because like ah,
Yeah, no, I totally understand,
it's
and it's hard to form an opinion on this when possibly in the future, let's say this podcast blows up, we get millions of viewers every episode. It's hard to form an opinion in front of all those people, and especially if they have a different opinion and they want to come after you and hate you for it. I could 100% understand. However, uh, I want teenagers to have a voice with subjects that affect them. Um, well, not actually. Yes, I do want children. Well, not children. Peop. If something affects a certain group of people, I want that group of people to have a voice in the matter. Like for instance, this gun control issue that we're talking about now. Um, that's a big thing uh, that we need that high schoolers are talking about. We want the people from high school and we want their opinion. So that was my whole thing on gun control. Is
I feel
basically if you ever had a, a mental disorder, if you currently have a mental disorder, you're not allowed to buy a gun. If you have a gun and develop a mental disorder, I don't know. I think you should be allowed to keep your gun. I think in with that kind of respect because I don't know if taking the gun is the right option because that's like stealing. Um, and all guns uh, that can be bought must be semi-automatic. They must never have a modification to become fully automatic. Anyone with a gun that currently is fully automatic, I'd say, would either have to have their modification taken off, if that's even a thing. But if they do have a fully automatic weapon and that cannot be, uh, the fully automaticness of the gun can't be disabled, then they get, I guess, refunded. Basically, the government takes their weapon, but they also give them that much money back to them. And the only way you can own a fully automatic gun is if you are serving in the military and you are, in a battle or war with someone. So there you go. That was my thoughts on gun control. What are your overall
um
opinions?
my overall thing it's like I said it's hard, but I do think I agree with what Australia did back in the 90s where they flat out banned, but then at the same time, I mean, we do have the Second Amendment right where I feel like there should be limitations.
Mm-hmm.
Not just straight up like you said, like you can buy an AR at 18 or 19 and a handgun at 21,
Mhm.
it's kind of one of those things where like face palms use like how is anyone that stupid moment.
Mhm.
But overall, I think I do agree with the Second Amendment right, but I do think it should be limited. Not eliminated, but limited.
So you think that the Second Amendment right should it should definitely stay. It just
It should
people
stay, but it should have like a few
it should have a
like
few
kind of
amendments.
like edits to it, like
Yeah.
or well
You
not well
you
you can't
want you
edit it,
want like
but
a new amendment to
like kind of something to
limit it. All
limit
right.
kind of
I totally understand you.
to
Uh I
prevent these
I'm
like
not
mass.
quite a I I believe in the Second Amendment right, but I don't follow it, you know? Like I think like in my life I'd probably buy one pistol just for a
I
personal
I
defense weapon.
I don't
But
even think like I cannot like I know it's like
like I wouldn't carry it out in public. I wouldn't actually bear
but
the arm.
I could never like although I agree with the Second Amendment, I could never see myself holding a gun.
Really, even
And
holding one.
like like as much as I agree with the Second Amendment, how much I want it to be limited, ugh, I can't hold a gun like
Like
even if
willing
it's
to
like
kill someone.
no like I could like because I thought about it to myself. I thought about the whole like situation because like even like hunting, I could ne I, like I could never like intentionally like shoot at anything basically.
Sure. All right. You're not a pacifist. You just don't want to kill things.
I don't like seeing things that are injured or like dying.
Mhm. All right. I totally understand you with that. Let's move
Let's
the topic of discussion.
let's move
Um
the topic before we
yeah, we've talked on that a
yeah.
bit. So let's go into overall school safety. Tell me, Jacob, um what
School
would you do if you were in charge of schools, what would you do? Because Trump, sorry, before I get your opinion, Donald Trump suggested that teachers would be able um,
to
to
like carry weapons,
bear a firearm inside of a school,
which
and they would also receive a pay raise. So that now with that out there, tell me, Jacob, what would you do to
I
make a school
first want to
safer?
comment. I want to first comment on that and
Hmm.
say like that like it sounds like really weird. It sounds like like it sounds like you're backstepping. It's like you're trying to get less guns off campus, but that when
Yeah.
you're
See,
giving teachers weapons, which which is on some ways like I think I was watching a video like a week ago where there's a school that actually practices that, and I think it's the only school who's successfully done that, which is great for them. But
hmm
after recent events, I don't think it would work out
Now, why
because,
is that?
well,
Do you think
personally
someone
for
could like
me,
take and
yeah,
just take the gun?
exactly. Like they could take the gun, like a student can go up, take the gun, and then open fire on a classroom, or if the teacher, which is the part that like kind of concerns me with this, like the teacher could be like, let's
Oh
say
yeah,
it's like
if they deem a
mentally
student
unstable. No,
violent or something.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. You should never shoot a student because that's fucked up, and that's one way to lose.
Yeah,
That's one way to fuck up your life, basically. But
like
or
what if they're the school shooter? What if the teenager is a school
like that.
shooter?
Well, then yes, yes. It's like a self-defense kind of thing. That's the part where I
Gotcha.
agree.
All
Like,
right.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yes.
I mean,
Okay.
if they do have the weapons, then like the resource officer, if he doesn't get there in time, because um,
He or she, we want to
well,
keep it gender neutral.
if they're not if they're not like get there in time and there's like school shooters already in a building, then the teacher could obviously go out and you know deal with the school shooter. And I
All
mean, I
right.
think that's nice. But the part that concerns me, it's like, what if the teacher becomes like unstable, kind of like what if like if
Oh,
they're going through a
I don't know
divorce,
about that.
if they're
The
like again like that is a very like unlikely scenario,
extreme
but it
case, but
could
like we've
still
had more
happen.
extreme. We've had more extreme cases.
Like, but it's one of those things that could still happen,
I guess. I
even even as
but
unlikely as it sounds.
yeah, but like when you're thinking about that, the same thing can just go to anyone buying a gun. You know, they could buy a gun, bear
Exactly.
it, and then in the middle of a crowded street, they could either open fire or just like straight up kill
And and
themselves.
and that's the part where I kind of like in a way disagree. Like I don't feel like it for some people, yes, it would kind of make them feel safer,
Hmm.
but at the same time that could very easily turn around, or the teacher could turn around and probably like lose him or her mind and start, you know, and then it starts the whole thing up again, which
I am personally okay. I'm not against you here, but I am saying that is pretty unreasonable and unlikely, not and it's not gonna happen. But I'm also not gonna deny it might. Who knows? Um,
there's never been a case, but that doesn't mean that there would be or will be a case.
yeah, like this is
Like
always what I
anything could happen.
yes, 100%. But this is always what I say. So in one of the southern Republican states, I do forget which one. I believe it was either Louisiana or Alabama. I don't know for sure. Don't quote me on that. But there was someone who took a gun into a church and shot a lot of people in that church.
That would be Texas.
Texas, thank you.
Did it?
Um,
Yeah.
so in Texas, someone walked into a church with a gun and shot a lot of people in there. Um, so Texas then decided, let's let's suggest a bill that makes it legal to hold guns in a church. And on one hand, like at face value, that is not smart at all. And that's just at face value, okay? Um, because the problem is someone took a gun into a church and killed a lot of people. The solution would be to have everybody in church able to carry a weapon. And you know, when you think it like that, that's like that's really stupid. That's not smart. But then
It's
on in but like when you look deeper into it, oh, if a lot of people who are trained with weapons and have them, if someone does threaten to shoot up the church, then you can kill them. I, however, feel like it's much easier to restrict all the guns so there's no chance of it happening rather than having everyone own a gun and letting them prevent the killing. You know, I'd rather stop it from ever happening than prevent it from happening. That's my opinion on that. So now if I'm moving into overall school safety, um, what I would do, this is hard because I don't want to like militarize every school
yeah.
because
It
police are
it's
already short as it is, and you don't want to add more of them to the school to yeah it would safen them up, but also you're putting kids into a scenario where it's like
where they're gonna
we know
feel
this could happen anytime, so we want to prevent it, and that makes the kids like really anxious, like oh my gosh, why are there so many guards on campus? Is it actually that likely of a threat? And that might not bode well with teenagers with anxiety. Uh, but what I would do to strengthen campus security? Ugh, I don't know. Um, maybe no, because I was gonna say like maybe add more guards, but that's what I just said. You can't really do that. Maybe okay. What if you install a lot of cameras everywhere, and you have like two or three people monitoring all those cameras
I mean,
at all
that
times?
that's one of the things where one of my teachers have personally said that there's cameras everywhere. There's always someone there
Yeah,
and
there's
watching the
already
monitors,
cameras
but
everywhere.
like there's only like a few spots around our campus that actually don't have security cameras, which are
Mm-hmm.
those areas are slowly getting filled up with cameras, which is
Yes.
good nonetheless. But also, uh, for
Yeah.
uh, for me personally, from what my one of my teachers said, this is I never formed any I never thought of any solutions for like safe overall school safety because I was more focused on like the other stuff like what we just talked about with gun control and how to like thinking about how to limit it. But like one of my teachers said that someone just said just install like locks, and keep in mind this is Arizona, so it's not it doesn't snow in the winter, so we have multiple buildings. We can go outside to other buildings. So that one got immediately dismissed because we have to exit buildings. We have classes in different buildings and all that.
I'm sorry.
And then
I just want to touch on what
uh,
was your point with the snow?
the snow basically like sorry I didn't go into detail. Basically like things like people like on the East Coast, how it snows and how it's like all one building, so you never have to go outside.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, we
So
have
like
we have
if like
three separate
in that
buildings.
in that in that situation with the locks where it automatically locks so no one can get in, no one can get out, that makes sense because it's all one building. It's just a bunch of wings.
What if the school shooter's inside?
That's the part where it's like, well,
That's where
I
it's
mean,
flawed.
yeah, I mean every plan has its flaws, but then so for us it wouldn't work because it never apart from this year got like below 50, so I mean, it it never snows. There's no
Hmm.
reason to have one building. But what was the other one she was talking? She was talking about metal detectors, and someone was talking about metal detectors and installing them on campus so they would catch anyone. And then that
And then you have
it,
so much metal in your backpack. I'm talking the
that
bindings on your
that
stuff,
too
water bottles.
that too is it that it it creates an unnecessary hassle.
Hmm. And it also costs
Like
money.
it costs a lots of money. It creates this unnecessary hassle. Would it be a great idea? Maybe,
Yeah, like it's definitely
but
a plausible option, but
there's just too much that could go wrong.
hmm.
So I mean, I wouldn't honestly go for that option.
And also you can't have random searches because that's
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's already random searches for like the last episode for like vaping and stuff for like
well, no,
fixing
it's not really
children.
random.
But
Basically, people can search you either if they have a warrant or if you're under suspicious cause.
suspicion,
And
probable cause, and
basically,
all
yeah,
that.
probable. Thank you, probable, probable. Sorry, probable cause. And so a lot of these people are, I wouldn't say well-known vapors, but like they are known to vape, and I don't know if someone silent witnesses them, um,
And
or
then and then you're
and then they just
searched
get searched,
basically.
and they get searched under probable cause. And so that's the whole thing with schools. You can't have that like every 5 people you're gonna get searched, or like there is a random search, because I think that breaches privacy, and that's against one
Breaches
of the
privacy,
one
and
of the uh,
it kind of makes it kind of like
rights.
self-esteem kind of thing. Like it makes you like if I got searched from my point of view, I'd feel like
Yeah, I feel like,
do
wow,
people
do I
like
look like a school shooter? Do I act sound
do,
like
do
one?
I do I actually like do I actually give
Do I
off this
seem
thing?
plausible for a school shooting?
And then from there, it would kind of make me feel anxious to go even back because people are just gonna give me weird looks and all that. It's like
Hmm.
it's one of those things where like it can completely destroy
That's
your
exactly
self-esteem.
that's exactly what Islamic people feel in an airport. Just because they have a turban on or they look Middle
Yeah,
Eastern, you're gonna get searched.
yeah, it's stupid.
Yep.
It's searching random people is it's not a
Uh,
great idea.
unless you have a method that is actually specifically randomized, then you can't do it, and you're always gonna have bias with searching. Um, and does bias play a factor in searching? That's a good topic to speak on because when you do think about it, there a lot of the
There,
big main publicized terrorist attacks in America have been with Muslim people, and so should we I wouldn't say search every Islamic person, but should we have some sort of like, you know, you're supposed to be searching randomly, but you know, search more Muslims than you would anybody else.
I feel like then that would go into like
That gets racism
Islamophobic.
in there and
Well, it
Islamophobia.
wouldn't be. Would it be?
It would be
And
racism.
besides the point, before we get into
Actually,
that topic, which,
religiosism, whatever. Anyway,
anyways, before we go into that,
yeah. But no, I think that actually is a good topic to speak on. Um, should should Muslims and Islamic people with turbans, people from the Middle East, should they be
I I
searched more?
I don't think that. I don't think that.
Hmm.
I don't think people should do that because then it just worsens the scenario that's already there.
Oh, it puts an even more divide. But let's
It
say
it
let's
puts it
say it
even more
is.
divided, and then it's uh
Yeah, because let me give you this real quick, and this actually I've told this to people, and they've kind of like rethought about not trusting or not liking Muslims a lot. Um, so there's ISIS, right? ISIS is an extremist group of people. Okay, yes, they are Muslim, but yes, they are also extremist, and there are, I believe, 1.2 billion Muslims in the world, and there are very few amount of those are extremists. And there are also many Catholic people in the world, and some of those Catholics are a part of the KKK, an extremist group who lynches black people, kills black people out in the middle of the open, all that stuff. Um, and sure, they don't cause terrorist attacks. They don't take pipe bombs into subways and blow everybody up, but um, uh, they still commit acts of racism, and also, yeah, I guess they are acts of terrorism. That is a terrorist organization, the KKK. Um, and they're honestly disgusting, terrible people. Same thing with ISIS, but Catholics, I mean, I'm not gonna bash on you for being Catholic. I'm gonna bash on you for being in the KKK or being an ISIS, but I'm not gonna bash you for being a Catholic or a Muslim. And it's basically like the same thing. Like, why don't we why don't police officers go for more Catholics in like uh neighborhoods where there are more black people? Just like oh, you're under suspicion of a possible terroristic attack because there's not a lot of those with the KKK. For for Islamophobia, people have been in this sort of mindset that, oh my gosh, that guy is a turban, he's on my airplane, this is not going to end well. And I don't know where you really draw the line with should we search them more? I would say you shouldn't because it's, racist and Islamophobic. But with the political, because like, okay, here, actually, you know what? I'm gonna say we should search Islamic people more than others, and I have a reason behind this. I'm not racist. You just heard that whole speech. Um, Back in the 60s, the KKK was rampant, and then it slowly died down. You know, with civil rights, then the KKK rose up and they went against black people and they opposed it. Okay, and that was the 60s, right? Now, if we move to 2001, there there was 9/11, ISIS, Al Qaeda, all of them rose up. They had a lot of terrorist attacks, and now it's slowly dying down. There are still terrorist attacks, though. The most recent, I believe, being in New York with a guy in a truck who was manslaughtering people through vehicular manslaughter. Um, and I feel like we should continue to search Islamic people more than normal people, not because of them being Islamic, but because of the current political climate where Islamic people are some some of them are extremists, but a lot of them try to come to America to have their terrorist attacks. So I feel like that should be searched. Do you agree with my opinion, Jacob?
Uh, I still stand by my. No matter what, you shouldn't just be searched randomly, no matter who you're.
And I totally respect you for that. That is a great opinion and outlook. Uh, but like once Islamophobia you know goes down, and once a lot of the terrorist attacks don't happen anymore, we can definitely ease off all of them, all of the Islam religion, just like the KKK. Um, I'm not sorry, I wasn't correlating Islam to KKK. I was uh, I was doing it ISIS and KKK, and then Islam and Catholicism. I think that's the word. So I I believe
I
that
believe that
was
was
all we had to cover. Do you want to give any more last regarding notes? Because I just had a long time talking then, and I feel like I took up a lot of
yeah.
your time.
I mean, it's okay. You're explaining your opinion. I don't blame you for it. But I mean, I've no I like with events that happened. I'm still in awe.
Hmm.
Like just
What
completely
do you feel
shocked
about
that
the Snapchatter?
the Snapchatter.
Should he be
He's
put in
gonna
prison?
cry. I feel like he shouldn't be put in prison
He should not.
because then again it was a fake
Okay.
threat. But I feel like he should also like spend a night in jail and have a criminal record because
I feel
your
like he should
dumbass.
definitely be put in jail for a long time, or I guess it would be juvie in this case. I think that he should be put in juvie for a long time.
Well, I don't think it would be for a long time. I feel like it would be like an like mm, like I
Like
don't
it's terrible to
like
make
as
examples out
much.
of people. I know that, and I hate it
It's like
when a teacher makes an example out of me and like says
like
you go out
at
of
the end of the
class.
day, yeah, at the end of the day, I don't think he should be punished too extremely, but still punished. Like at the end of the day, it was a threat. They're gonna treat it as a threat, even if he does. Oh, it's a joke, I promise. He still made it, but he's still human, even if it was a joke.
Mm.
People like
I feel
I
the
don't
exact opposite.
I don't want to use the he's human, he makes mistakes kind of thing, but
That is how you feel.
it is like it.
And it's fine to feel that way, Jacob. It's totally fine.
Like
I feel
I
the exact
do
opposite though.
like I feel like he shouldn't be punished like for the rest of his life. He shouldn't be known as, oh yeah, you're the guy who made that joke threat or anything.
Well, I guess not. I wouldn't say that too. It shouldn't absolutely follow him, but this
But it should
needs to
follow him
not
for a
only
great
set an
deal of time.
example. This needs to not only set an example for future, I guess, jokesters, future people, future generations. I, I guess it would. I don't know if it would span across multiple generations. This is a very local thing in Arizona, but I I want this boy to be an example to all these people who, you know, I get you can post memes. I would say I would allow the posting of memes, but do not take it out of hand because the second you make it real, the second you say I want to shoot up a school rather than posting a meme battle, if you say like, man,
Even
I
then, I
really
don't
hate
think
this guy at my
memes.
school, I want to shoot him, and like if you say I'm gonna shoot someone and shoot myself, that is something that you must be put in juvie for. And I feel like, especially during this political climate, he thought it was even funnier of a joke to post it. So most definitely he should be put in juvie with a minimum of 3 years.
Even from then, I think 3 years is a little bit too much. But like being like even a year is too much. Probably like I'd say a week, but then have the criminal record follow him.
Mm-hmm.
So then again, it it ruins his life in the long term.
I don't. He
But it
thought it was funny
but it
to make fun
but
of 17 dead kids, and thought that it was gonna
and
be
I
funny if he shot
and I
another kid
do
and then killed himself.
I do. But I mean, the thing is, he didn't, but he also made the joke, and I think he should be still punished for that. Because at the end of the day, you
Mm-hmm.
don't joke about that.
Yes.
Like, you don't joke about it. It's not a funny thing. That's not how you become cool.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but I do think, I do believe in people make mistakes.
And this was a
Like
horrible, dumb, stupid mistake.
it was, yes, it was a horrible, dumb, you're a fucking idiot mistake.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
So I'm not going. I'm not siding with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I am strongly
you just
against
want
them.
to take
But
the route of he
but
didn't know
like
the
like yeah, he
extremifications.
he didn't he didn't think of the consequences of it,
Like I'm
which
pretty sure
is
if he knew that he was gonna
pretty stupid.
get detained, searched, arrested, expelled, then he definitely would not have done it. But
Yeah, he
you don't do that in the first place.
yeah. I mean, you don't like yeah you don't joke about that, especially putting it on Snapchat or social media,
Some
like like kind of like a cone. Like it starts off with you, and then everyone it blows up, and
it's a
everyone
pyramid.
sees it. Yeah, or yeah, pyramid cone, same
All
thing.
right. Well,
But anyways,
I
moving from
I
that,
think that's it. I
I
think
think
we're
that's
done
it.
here. So
Alrighty.
thank
Well,
you all so much for listening in to this
you watching the whole
riveting,
podcast,
hard-hitting podcast
very
on
very
school shootings,
difficult,
the shooter on
very
Snapchat.
difficult.
This
Shooter
has
on.
been the High Schooler Opinion. I'm Greg Hamilton.
Thank, I'm Jacob Knutson. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next episode.